What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Dolce Show. I mention you quite a bit when I talk about my friends and people I respect in the fitness world.
Oh, I appreciate that.
Of course. Well, it's earned, and that's something that's challenging these days. These days of social media and kind of Insta, fitness celebrities and popularity. It's very rare to have someone who's a fitness influencer and has the look, but also has the educational background as you do, and the athletic background as you also do. So it's kind of, that's the triple threat in our world, right?
Like it. Can you do all my PR? This is what we need to tell the brands.
Right, exactly.
I was literally having that conversation a few days ago with someone to do with some potential work, and they said it's frustrating for people like you, as in me, because they said, there's girls with millions, hundreds of thousands of followers because, quite frankly, they show their butt, and for people that are, and I don't just mean myself, I know many like kick-ass women and men who are, trying to make their content educational and have that knowledge and background, being looked over sometimes for people that just have more followers,
Yeah. And it's something that I struggle with to this day, is that we made the conscious decision not to market ourselves and our brand like that. We don't even really use before and afters unless someone really asks us to, or we feel there's a special story. So we try and not really go to more of just the gratuitous visual clicks. We really had a little bit more content wise, the butts and the boobs and kind of all that stuff, though nice, it's not really representative of a fitness brand, nor it should be. And
I think it has a place. Like I think it has a place. If sometimes if someone wants to follow how you work out, how you eat, what you do, showcasing how a body can look when you do that, whether it's a client's before and afters, like you say, or whether it's yourself, I think it has an effect. But it depends on the eyes looking at that. Are they reading the caption? Are they looking at why you might be showing that picture, or are they just looking? It's clickbait, are they just looking for gratification, etc. So it's a fine balance, and I'm not going to say my page doesn't have the odd bikini thing on whatever here because I'm in Australia, or I'm on a beach, or I'm working out on the beach, etc. And they get more likes. It's just fact. But
shocking.
At the same shocking. But at the same time, it's like I always try and 99% of the time make sure whatever I'm posting, I'm trying to either inspire, educate, share, have fun, whatever it might be. So it's a challenge.
Yeah, and I think you really do a good job with that, because there's always great takeaways from your content. And you're a very attractive young lady. You certainly look the part of a fitness expert, but you're certainly differentiated from many of the other Insta fitness celebrities who have millions of followers because they shake their ass. And I don't want to be like, crass when I say that, but I say that intentionally because what they're doing is crass. And the poses, I'm the father of 2 young daughters.
Right.
And
so you're seeing it differently, from that perspective.
It's very unsettling to see that what young ladies, and I'll talk about the guys too, which is just as bad in their own way, but what these young ladies feel like they have to offer the world in order to gain recognition or acceptance or just even attention. It's all ass shots. I mean, primarily, again, being a little crass here, posing in these manners. It's not like, hey, I'm working the glutes here. This is my glute max, my glute med. This is a way to really accentuate these muscles. You might have to kind of zone in on that area. I get that. A little cheeky shot in the bikini when you're having fun with friends or family, that's great also. But if it's every single photo is the same 3 poses, that has nothing to do with fitness. That's
and it gets rewarded, and that gets rewarded, so it gets perpetuated. And look, I have nothing against people celebrating their body and whatever. Of course, we each have the right to post, do whatever we want, as long as what you receive back via comments or whatever you're okay with, and it sits well with what else you do, brand wise, work wise, company wise, etc. But I've just been trying to find my niche, and also just not getting too caught up in the social media world. I mean, there's that as well. You sometimes even had this conversation last night. You know, I had certain things I had to post. I was at an event and it was my duty to share the things. And I enjoy doing that. I really do. I like sharing. I like storytelling, hence presenting, hosting, etc. But there's some times when I think I just like to leave my phone at home, not worry about social media, but then it's part of my business. So there's commitments and requirements to do a certain amount. So I think it's just finding that balance between, you know, what we consume. I had a little cleanse recently because I was following, as pictures were coming up, I was like, I don't know this person. When did I follow them? Who are they? What am I following them for? So I, you know, had a little cleanse through it, etc. And it's just about what you put out and what you take from it. Just making sure it's nothing that makes you either feel bad about yourself or frustrated or whatever it is, you know. And
Sure.
I guess and the funny thing is, as many followers as I gain every day, I'll lose almost close to the same amount, which gives a steady growth, but not a lot. But it's pretty crazy to me. Because like I said, I'll have the occasional cleanse of people I don't know and whatever, but you think to yourself, what did I do for that many people to go unfollow?
It's not enough booty
It's
shots,
really
Carolyn.
sweet. Not enough booty shots. That's what I'm doing wrong. Yeah,
That's
but then you get a whole host of other people that like, I don't like this. This is too, you know, in your face, etc. So my point is, you can't please everyone. You can't win. You just got to feel good about what you put out and the content you share, and hope that if I just get 1 or 2 messages a day where someone said, that inspired me, I'm trying that workout tomorrow, have you got a tip on certain nutrition or eating, I feel good about it.
Absolutely.
You know, I feel like it's had a purpose.
And I feel the same way, that we're here to impact the world.
Yeah.
And by doing that, it's really one person at a time.
Mm.
You know, we might have audiences of thousands of people, or, you know, whatever venue we might be in, that we get some eyeballs on us. But really, it's a person to person basis. And the message that you're putting out, that we try to put out over here, it's very much a lifestyle based approach. And again, going back to like your Instagram and really what your overall message is, you're a young lady who's out there. This is how you truly exercise. It's how you truly eat. It's how you truly relax or enjoy the benefits of being a fit individual. And I think that certainly resonates with a core audience that are real people, not just the lurkers who are scrolling just for some instant gratification, you know, eye candy.
And you know what, I feel in a place now where I want to share a little bit more of the, not just trying to be superwoman and jumping around and whatever and eating clean. Like, I feel like I've always kind of wanted to, you know, I was an athlete, a performer, you know, you want to almost share the badassery side of what you do, etc. But I feel now people respond more to real. And there's been a few occasions, like when I, just over a year ago, bulged a disc in my back, and I shared that journey of kind of my rehab and what I was doing and, you know, frustrations. The response back was overwhelming. Like, how many other people have back issues, suffering, want help and advice on pain relief, etc. And even, you know, people say to me, every day you're lifting and you're doing HIIT style training, like, don't you get tired, don't you get injured? And I thought, actually, yeah, I never show the days where I'm either resting, doing some steady state cardio and stretching, because it's not exciting content, you know. But at the same time, I thought, you know what, maybe there's something in that. Maybe there's something in sharing, not just the amazing, awesome workouts and I'm eating clean and right, but maybe today's hard and I haven't eaten good today, or, you know, today's training just, you know, I had a session this morning, actually, I just got through it, you know, I was tired, I wasn't motivated, and I just got through it. So I think there's something in sharing more of the kind of real and the authentic, as well as just the showcase how we should do things, you know. I think there's something in that.
That's kind of the anti-social media approach, though, isn't it? Where
it is,
social media is all about your best day, not your average worst day.
It is, but I think people relate to people that are real, you know, like there's certain people I follow that are fitness women that have had babies, and they're sharing the real, like, it's not pretty, it's not easy, but they're showing the reality of it. It's probably like hundreds of thousands of women out there going, thank goodness, you know, you're not just saying, look, I popped back into shape after 2 months or whatever. You're showing us that it was hard and this is what you had to do, etc. So there's definitely something in that. And, you know, I wanted to ask you as well about, you know, you, even I think it was on your Insta story today, I actually screenshot, you put the kind of like list of things, you know, each day, getting so much sleep, etc. Because, you know, I love all that stuff. And one thing I picked up on was you saying eating every 2 to 3 hours. And I've heard you talk before, like you're not a proponent of like intermittent fasting and stuff like that, right?
No, not inherently, though. What I say first is when we sleep, we fast. Now, typically, I'll have my dinner 3 or 4 hours before I go to bed. I'll get my 8 or 9 hours at night. So that puts me really at a 12-hour fueling and a 12-hour feeding lifestyle. Now, usually I'll wake up, I'll do a little bit of cardio, I'll hydrate first. I won't really have that first meal for an hour or two after arising. So I'm already at a 10 or 11 hour feeding window and a 12 or 13 hour fasting window. What I don't like, and why I speak the way that I do, is trying to be educational so people understand that we're not following a diet. We're not locking ourselves into a rigid, exclusionary, restrictive lifestyle. This is the way that we're actually intended to be living. Now, like our 3 weeks to shredded program, we have, I think, out of the 21 days, there's 3 modified fast days that it's basically you skip breakfast, you stay super hydrated, fresh brewed teas, and then you start, 11 a.m. or so with a raw juice or a salad. And that just helps for digestive efficiency. We're not trying to induce autophagy or these other, keywords that a lot of the, the Insta folks really like to point to. But then they build a point of differentiation around so they can sell their widgets.
Well, it gets confusing, and
yes.
I'd say I'm pretty locked in with how I like to eat and what I like to do. But then, I'll get drawn into these amazing benefits of intermittent fasting, a 16-hour fasting window, or keto, stuff like that. And I think to myself sometimes, I'm like, well, let me try it. I need to experience it to see whether it's going to benefit me. And I can imagine for people that have less education in nutrition and the body, what a minefield it is. And, the conversations I have with women about, well, I've been on keto and then I came off it and now I've gained all this weight and it's this yo-yo effect. And I've just come to this conclusion with me and what I share with other people as well is I did intermittent fasting for a good, I'd say 4 weeks, like really stuck to it rigidly. Were my calories naturally down? Yeah. Did I feel like I lost a little bit weight, looked a bit leaner? Yeah. Was I miserable? Was I hangry? Was I not nice to be around? Did my training suffer? Yeah. So for me, it comes down to what is the best way to eat for you emotionally. For example, most people I know, myself included, have had some issue with food at some point in their life.
Sure.
Not just women, but especially women. Whether you've either been restricted, you've yo-yoed between diets, or you've, I don't know, binging, purging, trying to exercise it all off, all that kind of thing. And I've had many years in my 20s where my day was ruled by food. When I could eat, what I could eat, how long till I could eat, how I would get through a wedding with eating the food there and not my food. And it was miserable and it really ruled my life. So I've found a way of eating that works for me, which is just I eat every 2 to 3 hours. That's why I picked up on what you said. I eat a balance of macronutrients. I don't count them. I don't look at the percentages. I just make sure I know I'm good with fat and good with proteins, carbs. I try and stay away from the stodgy stuff, whatever. I have a little treat here and there. But whenever I've tried something new, like when I did the intermittent fasting, I thought to myself, despite how my body's responding, this is now getting me back in that place mentally where food is ruling my day, So sometimes for me, I'm like, pick something that doesn't rule, choose a way of eating, diet, whatever you want to call it, that just makes eating easy for you. And when I speak to people that do intermittent fasting and they talk about it on their YouTube and they're like, I